returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family. Just thank you so much for the love and support. Is greatly appreciated. Like I said, I'm just so happy our family base soul family for the channel is like growing like crazy, especially in the last 72 hours. I'm just truly blessed about that, knowing that there are so many out there that that can relate to the things that I go through or the things that that I find out about. It's just really beautiful to me that that there's some people that you can really understand where I'm coming from. So it's greatly appreciated on so many levels. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. Also, if you are comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback of the content of my video, or you're just up and telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacts your life and heading you towards a positive direction. Also, if you feel like the videos are very uplifting to you, give you good vibes, or give you inspiration in some kind of magical way, and that you wanted to share it with some, loved one, family, or friend, or even a fellow empath that are going through some things right now and they need spiritual guidance or just need confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give me a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. Thank you once again for the love and support. It's so greatly appreciated. And I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And today, the background music I'm using is called Relaxing Harp and Flute Relaxing Music with River Sounds. And I will go ahead and place that link in the description box below. And today my video is about Twin Flame 101 Heyokas. Stay close to the ones that can handle you at 100 proof. That is so true. There are so many people out there that, especially if you're in a Heyoka, we have the shock, the way we push out our words, how we allow people to see things from our perspective. Sometimes can be very, like, did she just say that or did he just say that? Yeah, I used to always get that and I never knew why I was like that. My mom was like, do you always say what's on your mind? I'm like, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And my daughter even said, Mom, that's not good. And I had to really, just tone it down a little bit because, there are certain times I never want to say something where it can offend somebody, but I do keep it real. I'm like, shoot, real recognize real when fake walk in the room. I ain't got time, So it's just like being able to love and appreciate, going through this, spiritual awakening has had its downfalls as well as its uplift to me. I appreciate it all the same because either way, I've been taught a lot of things that I didn't know about. I'm open to learning about new things every day. I love the fact is with the attachments for our soul family, I've got so many people around the world. I deal with people from Japan, Poland, Germany, Japan, Saudi Arabia, India, Lebanon, all these different places. And it's just allowing me to be open to different cultures, how people do things, and it made me think about things like when I was living on a military installation back in the Midwest, I was so, we were in a melting pot. It was like really crazy because when I came here, my friend was telling me about all different things that she was dealing with. Because of her native, her ethnic background that she was dealing with. She was Hispanic and she was just like, girl, they really here is like really bad. Like if you're, a lot of time we have to deal with colorism here, living in Georgia. If you got a pretty face and you're light skinned and going with it, you have a lot of drama to deal with. And it's sad to say that, but certain people are like that here. They feel like, and it's sad out in society that people with beautiful melanin skin does not get that same treatment if you were light skinned and stuff like that. And I see it all over the world. I remember I was watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and I think his name is Young Jock, and he made a good example for that. When everybody was giving him the mess, giving him the business when he straightened his hair out, and I'm looking at Jock, what are you doing? And it looked really crazy. They said he looked like the chick from Pam from the group Total from back in the day. Can't you see? And I was just like, oh, dang, you do. But when Chris Brown went ahead and got his hair straightened, there was nothing really said. I feel like it complimented them both, but I guess it was like a new style that people, getting blowed out perms or whatever. and they just bringing fashion back from the day. They're like, oh, they're doing this new. I'm like, baby, that's not new. I'm like, and Mimi, you said I was lying about me being almost close to 50. I'm like 43 and I'm soon to be 44. I'm more closer to 50 than I am to 40. I'm right in the middle. But I try to take good care of myself. A lot of people used to trip out when I say I have a granddaughter, or, they'll ask me, oh, is this this the only daughter you have, when they would see my daughter. But my youngest daughter is scary because she's a split image of my dad when he had me, in a girl version. And it is like when you see her, she looks 13, but yet she's 18. My daughter, my middle daughter, she's 21, but you would think she's 15. My oldest one, she's 24, and she looks like she's 19. So it's just like we got them good genes. My dad was like, he doesn't think about time. When he was my age, he looked good. If he, God rest his soul, if he was still here at his age, and even the things that he went through, my daddy looked really good for his age. So I guess we got those good genes to where you don't age as fast as we should, and thank God I don't look like the things I went through. But just being able to allow people to love me for me. I try to, keep it real, but I try to make my stuff interesting. I want to be able to shock you with the things that I'm saying, but then you can also relate to it as well. Because a lot of time people laugh at me and they're like, Roslynn, you are truly saying the things I be wanting to say. And I'm like, if I can see if somebody's coming at you the wrong way and they really didn't catch the memo. Sometimes you got to give somebody that memo. But there's a lot of times I don't got my butt fired from jobs because I gave people the memo. So I had to really allow myself to take growth in those crazy experiences. Like, Roslyn, you can't be doing that. But I said, I'm not that type of person. Don't think I'm about to kiss your butt. Being fake gives me hives. I don't have time for all that fakeness. If I got to be fake, there's nothing about me that's gonna do that. It might be, the hair or something like that, but that I don't have time to be, fake. I just don't have time for it because it's just what you're being, an empath. You can really you can smell it in the air when you're getting somebody who is not authentic in their truth. And I just don't have time for it. I love to be able to be open and not worry about how people perceive me, how people get me. There's a lot of times a person is not fully awake and open to seeing the things that we see and experience the thing we experience. They'll be lost in translation. They really would. But I'm that type of person. If you can't handle the real me, the real truth about me, you know, that's a personal issue. That's your ego. Like when people want to say, oh, you're not Prince's daughter. Okay, the ego ain't gonna want to know the truth anyway. There's so many signs. You see it, you don't want to see it. Hey, that's not my problem. That's not what I'm here for. It's not about to brag about stuff like that, but allowing you to know what kind of experience I've had to deal with just by being his daughter. It is really allowed me to be open with my life, to be able to let you know there's really some crazy things you have to deal with. Like people say, I don't understand how people say they love you. You love your dad, but they have they feel some type of way about you. It what that is to me is like loving somebody with limitations. Oh, I love you if this is the thing that's only cut from that cloth. But I'm a type of person, if you love somebody, just like, I always loved Michael Jackson when I was little. Even I forgot what somebody sent me a link, when they told me that, there's certain rappers and stuff that know about my situation, me and my dad's situation. And I think it was a song, oh my gosh, it was with Jay-Z and Kendrick Lamar, and they said something about the kids being separated, and they showed it was a song. uh it was like Jay-Z and Fat Joe and Remy Ma. I forgot the name of the song, but it was telling about, they try to keep it, if you got the DNA of Prince and stuff like that, they keep you separated and stuff like that. But, Jay-Z, it dropped some hints like that. And people were like, Rosalind, I think, your dad done talked to Jay-Z about you, when they were getting with Tidal or whatever albums were out there, because they didn't mention certain things about kids. And this video, the song with Kendrick Lamar and Jay-Z, and they mentioned, the DNA, the children of, Michael Jackson and, Prince being separated. I was just like, wow, and it threw me back. And, being able to know these different things of the life I've experienced, is not all what it's wrapped up to be. When people see my dad, all they see is dollar signs, the luxury life, that he lived, the beautiful cars or the beautiful houses and stuff like that. But even though my dad was a talented musician, at times I used to get shocked about that. There's times I still look at my dad's picture and like saying, is this my life really? And he's like, why do you keep saying that? I'm like, because. But then, it's like going through these ascension phases. It allows me to remember, our last physical encounter. It was very memorable, but it was very, traumatizing towards both of us, all three of us, understanding my mom just cried a lot. I remember that. It's scary that you can still even remember in the womb. They say, you're supposed to talk to your babies and sing to them, when they're in the womb, they can remember that. And it's true, and it was just with me. My dad already knew something that was very special about me, because I used to tell my mom all the time, mom, I really thought my mom was a white woman. And I used to say that. She said, "What, baby? Why do you see that?" I said, "I remember this very, very, very pale complected woman that had this high pitched singing, and but she has an afro though." And didn't realize I was describing my dad. He used to sing to me. He stayed with me the first days of me being born. And he used to sing to me all the time, and I used to feel his tears hit my face when you know he would sing to me. And my mom was like, it used to tear her up, you know um when I would tell her about those things. And it's just like all these different incidences. It was like more and more things I found out that was like, you know it was it threw me off, but it allowed me to educate myself, because it was something I was looking at the other day on YouTube that my cousin Charles had put out about my dad. And, I remember the record deal that flew through, because I said that on my intro video about, when him and my mom were, high school sweethearts. And I didn't realize he was supposed to get the record deal exactly on the same day I was born. And if that, and that really, it got me into an emotional moment. And I was like, dang, my dad was about to sign. He worked really hard to try to get that contract done, for him to be able to keep me. He wasn't able to do it. So there's times that I look at certain situations, like certain songs that come out that my dad has put out, and he sent towards me for me to be able to listen to, and to be able to always have him around, even though he was there for me metaphysically, you know um be able to have him there physically in some type of way. So there's a lot of times, when people drop comments on videos, or like, well, he always wanted to be a dad. And I break down in tears, because, I really wanted to be able to have that experience with my dad. I really did, because that's the only one thing he didn't be able to experience. So allowing myself to be open about things that has occurred in my life, no matter how gut wrenching it is, it allowed me to be open for other people to be able to know, hey, I can relate to her. There's a lot of things that I went through. I might not have that voice to express to other people, or I'm still wounded from that experience. It's okay to still, have emotions about certain things that has, traumatize you in one way or another in your life, because that allows you to be able to say, hey, this happened to me. Hey, I'm still dealing with it. It's still a thorn on my side, but I'm open to be willing to try to heal from these things that's been placed on me. That's where your strength is. When I try not to never play victim about things that has occurred in my life when it comes to that. I never felt like I was a victim of anything except, being a survivor. I don't want to ever think I'm a victim to circumstance. No, no. I feel like I'm a survivor from the things that's been placed on my life. We all have, people that has died in our family that, we still hold close to our hearts. And we know that even though they're not in that physical form, they're always here for us in that spiritual way. Like I was telling y'all the other day, you have, there's times where we're really going through some dark moments and may feel like we're all alone when things have happened in our lives. And, we're not alone. A lot of these things are, these experiences are supposed to uplift us, even in the darkest way. It's a slap of reality to be able to know I'm strong. I got the power, even though there's times where you just want to ball up and cry and just say, I'm done, I give up. It's not meant for you to give up. There's so many days like today, I'm just like, I cried and I told God, I'm so tired of going through stuff. I try to be, that person of reason, be that voice of reason, the positivity all the time. But it's hard to have a smile on your face when there's nothing in front of you, physically in front of you, at that moment to where you can be grateful for, but you have to be able to find that grateful throughout that dark time. Being grateful to know that this might be that dark moment, but it's not going to always be that way. You know, keep it real or upon real. Being able to open my life up and tell people things. It was really hard for me to do. I'm not even gonna lie. It's been going almost close to 3 years. Of all the things I've experienced. I've had so many different comments to where, I had death threats. I had people laughing at me saying, "Oh, you're a liar." I'm like, you know what? You don't know what was going on when the horizontal dances was going on. You don't know, and it was just like, I dealt with so many different experiences, but I'm grateful for all of it because it allowed me to see people at their real times, people that's been in my life, for 20 some years that I called like family. No longer they're strangers to me just because they found out the truth about me or they knew and they were hoping and praying I didn't find out. So it's just like I don't cut myself off from almost damn near everybody that has been in my life, and being able to you can't handle who I am, what I represent, who I came from. That's not my problem. That's allowing you to let me know that your ego speaks very highly of you. You sent your ego to talk to me instead of the person that can understand things like this can happen. you know but that's why I was picked to be able to do these things, because there's times, I mean, I was sitting here in tears earlier and just saying, God, what am I going through this for? Why am I, seeing that? And then when I turn on my computer and seeing all these comments, y'all leaving me, I'm trying so hard not to cry, y'all. But y'all really allow me to know this is what I'm going through this for. So that allowed me to say, yes, this is worth it. This is truly worth it, because if I have to go through all these different shock value type experiences and be vocal about my truth and be 100 proof about it, there's some people that are not going to like me for what the things I say. People are not going to like me just because who they say I claim to be related to. Um, and that's fine. But there's also going to be some people that find my life experiences very amazing and very spiritual and very, they can take something from what I'm trying to give you. That's my present to the world. you know and I keep it real as best time I can, best any way I can. But it allowed me to be able, you can see the silly times of me. There's times y'all don't see me break down in tears, and I hate crying on video, because you see how I had to really focus on something that was very happy. Because I have too many things to be blessed for to concentrate on the sad times. There's so many things that has happened to me that I'm still coming to terms with. And, I mean, I try not to, zone on that negative situation, because I'm blessed even through my negative times. Even though it might be hard, I have to constantly tell myself, you have a bigger purpose in the things that you're dealing with. Your blessings are far more bigger than the things you're dealing with right now. Look at the things you're helping other people realize about their lives, the things that they struggle with. You're being that billboard to be able to let people know, even through your worst times, blessings are still rising to the surface for you. And a lot of times you have to be grateful for those things and not just concentrate on all the bad things that's happening around you, because when that blessing finally comes up, and it could be so little, you wouldn't understand it was a blessing or not, because if you're focused on the negative and not trying to see it from different perspectives. So if people can't handle you at 100 proof, you know speaking in your truth, put those people aside, pray for them. But allow yourself to stay close to the people that accept your realness, that appreciate your honesty, allowing them, they can learn from the things you're going through as you doing the same for them. Because it's like when y'all support me, I'm supporting you. A lot of times y'all feel like, I mean, there's so many times that I've cried in front of my computer when I've heard people say, Roslynn, you just don't know how your videos has uplifted me or has kept me grounded or has allowed me not to give up on my life. There are so many people that have hit me up on one and told me they were almost close to blowing the trigger until one of my videos came out. And I mean, I had to, your life is very valuable. Okay. Um, there's times that I wanted to die, you know, finding out who my father was, going through that experience. Like I told you, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I love my dad for everything it's worth. He was always that superhero to me, my best friend. And I always used to call him, that was my best friend, and I didn't think I knew him because it was just like my mom would say something about it and she wouldn't correct me. But it was like I would get beat if it was on her husband's side. If I, did anything that appeared to be talking about my dad. So, just to be able to know when people don't feel like life was worth living, I've been there. I knocked on death's door a lot of times, um, and God didn't want me. And I used to cry and say, God doesn't want me, you know, and being able to know that my life is very precious. Your life is very precious. Don't allow the things, the ugliness in other people overtower your blessings of the gift that you can show the world, you know. Don't allow yourself to think that your life is not worth living because of the heartbreaks that you're currently dealing with, you know. Um, I'm trying so hard not to cry, y'all. But my experiences, is very out there, But if I know that my experience can help somebody else and save somebody else's life, that lets me know that that's what my purpose is, to be able to bring joy to other people's lives, to be able to make sense of the crazy chaos that we constantly deal with. Being able to let you know you're stronger than you give yourself credit for. You have more power than you can give yourself credit for. And, better days are coming. If you love my dad, that allows me the days that I constantly cry, and he always tells me he's here, you know. There's times I feel him, kiss me on my forehead, or I can feel him touching me on my face. And it allows me, like the last few days, while I'm going through integration, they allowed me to feel that vibration I felt with him when I was first born. And that was so magical to me. And it brought tears to my eyes because I missed that, and I said, regardless of you still being here, not being here in that physical, I missed that connection that we had, and he was like, but our connection has gotten stronger. And it really has. But, if you ever lost a parent, you know what that feels like. And it's just like with him and not getting closure or answers, that's where my heartbreak lies at. But I understand that, if he's in a better place and there's people out here that still, you know, enjoys his music and love what he represents, that's my healing mechanism, is just seeing the love that people have for him the way I do. So, that gives me something to hold on to in that positive sense. So, but know that your life is important. Allow yourself to know that your blessings are a lot bigger than the fears and the doubts and negative vibes that are currently um, going on in your life right now. There's bad times, but it's not a bad life. You have to be able to find a blessing throughout those experiences because it allowed you to reflect the positive love that you have that's brewing inside it, that's trying to give you that reminder that, you're never alone. Your life ain't always going to be like that. You have to be able to change your view out on the world for you to be able to understand there are better days are coming towards you. So you're not, when they ask you to go somewhere on your path, you didn't come this far for nothing. You didn't come this far to be this far. There's a reason for everything that you go through. There's a reason for everybody you come in contact with, you know. So I hope you were able to resonate with the content of my video. I didn't want to get mushy or whatever, but like I said, I keep keep it real. I allow y'all to know the experiences that, I currently deal with, as well as other things I've experienced and things that I find out. So, being able to let others know you can relate to them in some kind of way or another. So I would love to give a post notification out to Miss Debbie Velarde. Much love to you. Deborah, I said Debbie. I'm thinking about my friend's mom. Deborah, my bad. Much love to you as well, and treasured seasons as well. So drop me a line. Let me know if you resonate. Give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and hit that bell if you have not already. And know that you are truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved. And knowing there's somebody out there praying for your better days. And I will see you on my next video. Much love to you. Peace. Be well.